Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on a rematch here against F2P player here, and we're going to use the Byleth team, and we're going to see what he's bringing to the table here. He got a clean win on defense against my defense, so we're going to see if we can return the favor. Not that he did anything wrong. I haven't done any rematches in a while, and this one, well, I mean, aside from the one yesterday, I think it was that you guys saw, I think this one should be interesting as well, hopefully. So let's take a look at the team, put things together, and then we're gonna take a swing at this. Last match of the season, so not a lot to worry about in terms of whether or not we get the pots, although we do like to I like to make a habit about getting the pots just so that, if it is like practice makes perfect, I guess is probably the best way to put it. So we're looking at here a trap of some kind, I'm pretty sure, because what'll happen here is that rearm Sonya will get the chip damage from her, is her weapon or her B skill? I'm not sure. No, definitely her A skill, my apologies. And that will cause the return trap to trigger. Ooh, nice merges, okay. Right, so that will cause the return trap. I only have like +1 of her. I could use a couple more copies, but I am just not interested in pulling on the remix banners that she's been on. Everybody has this +10 Brave Guard but me, and I use Brave Guard quite a lot, so I don't know why she just doesn't want to come home. I have her like mid-merge. But yeah, return trap on Sonya, which will cause her to come down with the +1 movement and then attack whatever is in the way. But since 1, 2, 3, she'll get baited, I don't think it'll trigger, since it's supposed to go off on turn 1 if you're not prepared. Also, there's a rally there, so that this could go either way, which is pretty cool. I really like that setup. A rally on, more than likely, would be Cornelia, and then basically one of 2 units can get danced, either Cornelia or Igrin. So we'll see what will happen. And also Igrin can also just rally Sonya, so should be interesting to see how this takes place. And I think you noticed that they both had different AoEs, so we're gonna do a bit of positioning magic to avoid both of them. It's a little bit, I don't know if he had this before he played against my defense or not, but it is a good way to counter save units on offense if you're running this type of setup, because what'll happen is that the blazing wind is pretty easy to counter once you position properly. You just gotta not be in range of the blazing wind. So to counter that, I ran a second AoE, but ultimately you're gonna have a little bit of a hard time, because there's always gonna be a spot that you can sit unless you have all 3 AoEs being able to hit the same spot, and that's very difficult to do. But yeah, let's see what happens here. Let's see who goes. Okay, Igrin goes first. Now we are going to hit with Exposure, so she is going to get at least +10 true damage. And there's the Blazing Flame. She's not doubling because she doesn't have no follow-up, and she's not getting any guaranteed follow-ups from anywhere, so not a lot of damage there to contend with. And she is gone. Even though she has the Fleeting Echo, it doesn't matter, because Winter Byleth is just a fantastic unit. This again is the +10 true damage from Exposure. Ploy, my apologies. And she's gone as well. Okay. Alright, so now we can start moving about here. And as you can see, we avoided both of the AoEs. It's not transformed. Okay. Alright, I might take that pot shot at Fort Mortis. It'll probably help me out later on down the line. Don't see a reason to not take that. And then I also wanted to get rid of the bolt tower, but reposition is a concern. And then also there's the gravity trap that's kind of in the way as well.
A goddess abides.
I'm not sure. Well, they're going to come to the right since that's the only side that's open. But also, they might try to save themselves and go to the left just because threat range from Yunaka.
Let's get
So let's see how that pans out. I think I'll wait until turn 3 to step on the bolt trap, and I'll figure out what to do with the bolt tower afterwards. Okay. Alright, let's put Byleth up front, and that should be that. From here, it should be pretty straightforward. We're just going to pick off whoever comes down. Cornelia should be able to reach us with a dance, probably. I think she'll attack. I think she will, so we should be okay if we just set up like this, because I think what might happen here is that Cornelia might try to heal for Mortis, but then again, it won't matter because of Fatal Smoke. So she might just come straight down and try to attack, because she does have the, what's that skill called? Dazzling Shift, which allows her to warp. Okay, alright, well, that all aside, I think I've probably made up my mind to not pull on that new banner. I think if I was going to pull, I'd probably only be pulling for the Clash skill, the new Clash skill, so that I could flutter that to my my Hannah, my plus 10 Hannah. I'm just like unhappy with the banner, so I'm hoping that no one actually pulls on it because of the Embla factor of it all. As I said before, if Embla wasn't on the banner, I'd be totally fine with it, but Embla just makes things weird. For defense, kind of not even just defense, but just armored units in Ather raids in general. Like, why run armors now? There's just no reason to. With Embla being an offense or being an option to be able to be run. From what I've been seeing so far, it seems like a lot of people have, or not seeing, but hearing rather, a lot of people have, well, also seeing because I'm reading comments as well. A lot of people have been using that Embla strat in like Chaos seasons, so they're excited to use it in just regular Aether raids. So I guess that's something that we're going to have to look forward to. Not sure how effective it will be, because you still need other initiators, because Gale Force you hit twice. But I guess you can make it work. Just depending on the setup that you run, you can probably make it work. I have to be careful here because Freyr can get danced, so I do need to block this middle lane here to avoid Freyr from getting into any of the squishy units. I'm going to go with Byleth here because he is fantastic at tanking Freyr, who won't get the guaranteed follow-up, so I just need to set this up so that he can do that. And I also need to break the bolt tower this turn, because that's a 50, and I can't fight Freyr and eat a 50 bolt tower in the same turn. That's just not gonna work out well. Alright, so that aside, while I do that, I don't know, man, I feel like I'm just gonna skip. I'll probably get the orbs from the Tempest Trials and put them towards getting another copy of Nurgle. Just because I don't see why not. I still haven't gotten the extra one, and then I'll save the rest of the orb for whatever else comes. What we're at, like the middle of the month, they'll probably have another banner. No, I think that's the last one. I think the next banner is going to be the Mythic banner. I think the next banner is the Mythic banner at the end of the month. Well, this feels super early. We're just like in the middle of the month, no? So there should at least be one more banner before the Mythic banner, maybe? I could be wrong, but yeah. Try to get another copy of Nurgle and then save, and then try to get some Ikes, because I do have a couple of units that I want to put that Lagu's friend 4 on that I wasn't able to before. So we'll see how that pans out. I had a super hard time clearing whatchamacallit, Seer Sneer. Oh my god, that last map with Marth and Reinhardt and Alencia, that one went hard. That was a really small, close combat map. They looked like they put a lot of thought into the unit choices for that last setup, because it really countered everything that I was doing. I had Brave Alm there, and he was just getting clapped by Reinhardt. So yeah, that last one was pretty tricky. It was the only saving grace was that Alir didn't have distant counter in her for Dragon distant counter in her slot because of the game mode, so she wasn't able to run that. So I was able to just take her out and then tank Reinhardt with Catra somehow. But yeah, that last one was pretty hard. I had a little bit of a challenge to get that one done, but all in all, it was another really fun run of Seer Sneer. I can totally understand why it takes them so long to release that game mode. It's not more frequent because there is a lot of thought that goes into putting those maps together. Just from playing it and seeing the unit selections as counterplay to what we have available to Valentia, which isn't like from that specific game mode in general, not game mode, game title. There aren't, well, maybe they are, but most of them you're just not going to run because they're just booty, not very good units. So you're going to put them, oh, I've put most of them in my barracks, in the extra barracks. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, that was pretty fun. Don't know what I'm going to run for Tempest Trials yet. I think I'm just going to get the Alchris. I don't need another red unit, a red archer. I was building Cyril and I don't know what else to do with him. I haven't gotten the skills that I want to put on him. I need an A skill, a B skill, and something else. And then I'm also building Dorothy. So a lot of work to be done on some of the archers that I have. So we'll see how it pans out. This should just leave Freyr. Okay. All in all, defense went really well. We'll see. I think we'll probably get like one or two more, maybe. Probably just one more before the season ends because it's like really early. Well, then again, it could also not happen. So I could still I could end up with just 10, but I haven't ended up. Well, we'll see what happens. But went really well. As I said, when you run Cav lines, you have such a higher win ratio because no one clears their back rows, and that's going to be more common. You're going to just be facing a ton of Cav lines moving forward, especially in the higher tiers because Embla is a thing. Gale forcing didn't need to be this easy. It really didn't. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try and get the pots as well.
Close your eyes. I can do this.
And this should be fine. How much is this?
This is for you.
Alright, I almost killed him. Just one. He gets to attack again. The cancel one from the Firestorm Dance. This is a really well thought out defense. F2P at that, so big props to him for building something this intricate. But yeah, we were able to just get through it in the end.
I will go.
How do I get that pot all the way up there? That's gonna take 2 turns more than likely. Can I avoid Miraculous? I think I can. I don't know, man. What do you guys plan to do now that Embla is a thing for offense? What do you think you're going to be doing in terms of your defensive setup? I know most of you have already been running like Cav lines, but like for like people who aren't running Cav lines and you're big on defense, what are your plans? Like, what are you going to do? I see a couple people saying that they're just going to wait and see like how many people actually get a copy of her, and then plan it out from there. Some people are saying that there'll probably be another unit that counters Embla. IS might release that on the Mythic Legendary banner, all things considered, at the end of the month, which would be like totally in true IS form, releasing a counter for something that they put out like right away. Even though Freyr does exist, I don't think they'll put out like a Freyr alt anytime soon, or another Freyr alt, because there's already Summer Freyr who apparently we don't talk about. But I don't think they'll do that anytime soon. It'll probably be another unit who will do something similar to what Freya does. Hopefully a ranged unit with some bulk, because I don't know how else are you going to survive in the emblem meta. That aside, I was noticing like we're kind of getting to a place where it's going to be okay to start running speedy Omni tanks again, because of that new A skill giving the true 12 points of true damage reduction. Or is it just, yeah, 12 points. We're kind of probably getting to a place where we can probably start running Omni tanks again, like the older ones. And it's kind of exciting to get to that point, because right now we're in like a res heavy meta. Most units need a ton of res to just like compete, but it's good to see that we're going to be able to swing back to the speed meta eventually. So I'm just waiting for them to release a B skill. Well, I mean, Lugula's Friend is an option, but it's not optimal for fast because they have lower defense than res, so it's not a lot to work with. So there's going to have to be like a version that works for speedy God Swords. But GG's. That's it for this week of Ether Raids. See you in the next one.